Speak. I'm Aisha, your host. We have received many questions from you, our viewers, on the topic of female slavery. Of particular concern has been Daesh's use of sex slaves. The group claims that this is in line with Islam. So what is Islam's view on concubines?
In classical Islamic thought, it is taken for granted that a Muslim man can have up to 4 wives at once. In addition to the 4 wives, he can have an unlimited number of concubines, which refer to women who are basically have slave status. A woman owned by her master has to freely give herself to the master. The master has the right to have sexual relations with her as though she were one of his wives.
Is there a verse in the Quran that specifically states what you had said?
The verses are not so clear. There are 2 verses, for example, in which I speak about what your right hands possess. Another interesting verse is in Surah 4, verse number 25, Surah 23, Surah 80. But curiously enough, while a man could have sexual relations with his female slaves, it is never interpreted to mean that a woman could have sexual relations with her male slaves.
What is the reference? What does right-hand possession mean? Because I know you mentioned that earlier.
Meaning one of their female slaves.
And how does consent play into this at all, or can we?
The classical thought, the understanding is that by virtue of the fact that she's owned, she does not have the right to consent. The master has the full right over her, and her consent does not play anything in this relation. We should understand that in the ancient world, women did not have many rights, and even marriage was not as we might expect it today, like a relationship of equality between spouses. In the Quran itself, her husband is referred to as her Baal, which literally means her Lord. But classical Muslim interpreters of the Quran said that the woman's main responsibility in a marriage is to fulfill the sexual needs of her husband, and for that reason the husband has the right and the claim to this, and she cannot refuse. So even speak of the possibility the man could force himself onto his wife, and she cannot refuse, because that is his right. Of course, this is not ideal. They would expect the woman to be cooperative, and regardless of what she's doing, whether she's busy cooking or whatever, when her husband calls her for that particular act, she should be ready and willing to engage.